And we are live. Okay. Thank you everyone for joining us for the April general meeting of the CSRA Parkinson Support Group. I wanted to take a moment first before I introduce our speaker to introduce myself. My name is Logan Banks, and I'm the president of the board for the support group. My contact information is listed on the back page of our monthly newsletter. Please feel free to reach out to me with any questions or concerns. Annie Long is our speaker this month, and she is the Associate Director of Community Programs with the Parkinsons Foundation. She plans educational events throughout the Southeast and works with volunteers locally to raise awareness of Parkinson's, to educate patients, family members, and healthcare professionals on resources that are available to help people with Parkinson's live their best lives. Annie got involved with the Parkinson's community in 2013 after her mom was diagnosed with the disease. Prior to rejoining the Parkinsons Foundation in 2018, Annie served as the executive director of the PD Gladiators, a local nonprofit focused on raising awareness of the importance of exercise for those living with Parkinson's disease. We will have time for questions at the end of Annie's presentation. If you are joining us on Zoom, please feel free to submit your questions via chat directly to me or ask them at the end when we open the floor for questions. Please know submitted chat questions are anonymous. For those of you joining us from Facebook, welcome, and we'd love to answer your questions as well. You can submit your questions in the comment section on the video, directly message us through Messenger, or email us at info@parkinsonscsra.org. Again, that's info@parkinsonscsra.org. Now it is my pleasure to introduce Annie Long. Thank you for joining us, Annie.
Hey, thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be with all of you guys. I wish we were together in person, but someday. I know from this group, I've met some of you, I guess, going all the way back to 2013 or 14, which was actually when my mom, Allison, was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. Shortly after her diagnosis, I did get involved with the Parkinson's community. And I've been with the Parkinsons Foundation on and off ever since, doing a variety of different things. So it's an honor to be here. Also, my husband is from Augusta. My in-laws live there. So a little shout out to Augusta. We get there every once in a while. So again, thank you for having me. So I'm going to go ahead and just share my slides here. Bear with me 1 second. And I'm going to probably go pretty quickly through a lot of these because some of this information may not be new to you, and I, certainly want to keep everyone awake because it is 6 o'clock. So, but I am again with the Parkinsons Foundation. We are the nation's leading community for people living with Parkinson's. We do a lot of work here in the United States, but we actually have a global presence through our centers of excellence across the world. I, again, have been with this organization. I think the first thing that attracted me to the Parkinsons Foundation was our moving day walks for Parkinson's. After my mom was diagnosed, I was desperately looking for a way to help, a way to get involved. And I came across Moving Day, and I actually helped start the first Moving Day walk in Atlanta. So that was back in 2013. Time has certainly flown. So I don't think I need to tell you guys any of these facts or figures. Most of you guys have been affected by Parkinson's, which is why you're here today. But in case you're, wondering, these are kind of some of the stats that we're looking at. Most of you probably know, there are 60,000 new cases of Parkinson's diagnosed each year, and there are nearly 1 million Americans living with Parkinson's. And the foundation, actually, we did a Parkinson's prevalence project a couple of years back to try to figure out exactly, get a better estimate in terms of state by state, how many people are affected. We estimate through our Parkinson's Prevalence Project that there are over 20,000 people here in Georgia who are currently living with Parkinson's. Obviously, I think all of you guys know this, but the prevalence is expected to increase substantially over the next 20 years, and that's very much due to the aging of the population. And sorry, my daughter might be trying to break through the door as I speak, so hopefully that's not the case. So again, what we focus on as an organization, we certainly want to focus on people here and now. And I think that's another thing I really appreciate about this group is, we're not entirely focused on research. We're not entirely focused on what lays ahead. We're really trying to take care of people here and now and make sure that patients and families are educated and feel like they've got the tools and resources to live well with Parkinson's. All right, so as I mentioned a moment ago, we do have a global presence. The foundation has a global network of 47, what we call centers of excellence around the world. We deliver care to nearly 193,000 people with Parkinson's through our centers of excellence. Here in Georgia, we're really fortunate to actually have 2 centers of excellence. One, you guys I know are all very familiar with, and that's the Medical College of Georgia at Augusta University. They are a fantastic team. I love working with them. Shout out to Martha Ann. She is my buddy and helps me in every possible way to make sure that programs are happening, to make sure that we're getting speakers when we need them. And I know that the team at MCG, they're all fantastic and so passionate about what they do. So a little shout out to them. I really appreciate what they do and I love working with them. And then of course here in Atlanta, so I actually live north of Atlanta in Johns Creek. And so I am closest to Emory, which is another center of excellence. Emory again is also a phenomenal place to seek treatment and care. So you guys are fortunate, believe it or not, there are so many people across the country that still don't have access to these types of Parkinson's experts and to what we really consider excellent care in Parkinson's. So really fortunate here in Georgia. All right, so one of the things that we do, to really help sort of guide best practices and decide, what are the best approaches in terms of Parkinson's treatment and care, is we've actually launched the largest clinical study of Parkinson's that's ever been conducted. So the Parkinson's Outcomes Project has been going on for more than a decade now, and through that project, we actually are able to track 13,000, and it's probably actually more now to date, more than 13,000 people we've been tracking over the last decade or so to see what's working for them, what's not working, so that again, we can help our centers and facilities across the country determine what are the best practices in patient care. All right, so one of the other ways that we really help our experts across the globe give the best possible treatment to people with Parkinson's is we actually provide professional education. So our professional education department, they do all kinds of things from host webinars to they do actually a 3.5-day intensive training called Team Training in Parkinson's, where they bring together allied healthcare professionals like nurses and physical therapists, even neurologists, and general practitioners to help them better understand Parkinson's and to help them better understand how they can treat Parkinson's when they go back home to their towns and communities. So if you know of any healthcare professionals that are looking for specialized training in Parkinson's, you can certainly refer them to our website, parkinson.org/professional education. In addition to sort of trainings people can sign up for, we also have a lot of on-demand webinars that can be watched, by anyone, anytime. So it's a really great resource that we provide. All right, so most of you guys hopefully have utilized our toll-free helpline. So we actually have a team of helpline specialists. We call them our information specialists. And they are available Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern time to answer Parkinson's specific questions. So our helpline specialists, we have nurses, we have social workers, and they are really available through the Parkinson's Foundation to answer your questions. So I always tell people, please hang on to these resources. Make sure that you've got our toll-free helpline number somewhere that's visible. Maybe it's next to the bed, maybe it's on the refrigerator, but this is a great number to have handy. They answer nearly 20,000 calls a year. So this is what they do all day, every day. So no question, I say no question is too big or too small for our helpline team. They answer questions about, medication. They provide local referrals. If you're looking for a physical therapist or an occupational therapist, our helpline team is available to help you. All right, one of our newer initiatives that I do want to kind of touch on briefly is our newly diagnosed initiative. So newly diagnosed, building a better life with Parkinson's. Through this initiative, we're providing resources that are specifically targeting those who have been diagnosed within the past 5 years. So if you go to our website, actually parkinson.org/newly diagnosed, you can watch a video for those who've been newly diagnosed. You can actually order a newly diagnosed kit that we would mail to you. You can download the materials. So this is it's really a great way to sort of introduce somebody who's been diagnosed, their family members, to Parkinson's without overwhelming them with information. Most of you guys have probably fallen into the trap of the internet, where you start searching Parkinson's and you just never know what you're going to find. So we've provided really, we think, a safe space of accurate and up-to-date information for those who've been newly diagnosed. One of the brochures that's part of this kit is called our 5 Steps to Living Well brochure. And it really breaks things down. If you're going to do anything after you've been diagnosed, check out these 5 steps. And I'm sure it comes as no surprise, but one of those 5 steps is to stay active, or to get active if you're not already active and exercising. All right, so I'm just going to talk briefly about some of the research that we focus on as an organization. So we do invest more than 10 million annually, and I don't think, I know that that's something that we're putting more and more behind is our research initiatives. So each and every year, we're trying to put more and more into research. Not only into research, obviously toward a cure, but really research to better understand Parkinson's, what causes it, how can we provide treatments that are more specific to an individual with Parkinson's. All of us who have been affected know that no 2 people with Parkinson's are the same. So it's really important to try to better understand, again, what causes it, how it varies person to person, and therefore how can we make your treatment plan more individualized to fit your needs. So this is really exciting. I don't know if any of you guys, and I would ask for a show of hands, but I can't see you. I can only see my slides right now. But PD Generation is a genetics initiative, and it's actually the first of its kind national initiative that offers genetic testing and counseling at no cost to participants. So through PD Generation, which was just launched actually in the last couple of years, we're trying to recruit more than 15,000 people with Parkinson's to actually participate in this genetic testing. And it's really, really important for us to gather this type of information. It's also empowering for you and your family to sort of better understand, do you carry one of these Parkinson's sort of genetic mutations? And really just to get a better picture of your sort of genetic makeup overall. The exciting thing about PD Generation is that really because of COVID, I think we've pivoted a lot of our testing to an at-home cheek swab. So even if you are not near one of our participating centers of excellence that's currently offering the blood test, you can still sign up, enroll. You actually would sign up for a telemedicine appointment, do your initial consult, and then you would actually you would receive a kit in the mail, and you just do an at-home cheek swab. And then somebody, a healthcare professional, would actually follow up with you and talk about your results. So it's really exciting and something that we're very much still in the process of recruiting people for. So I encourage all of you guys, and if we have time, I'll show you a little video at the end, just it explains it a little bit better. But if you have not done genetic testing before, even if you have, what we're offering is very thorough, and it's very specific to Parkinson's. So please consider enrolling in this study. It's of course at no cost to you. So, you go to parkinson.org/PD Generation, or you can also call our toll-free helpline again if you need help getting enrolled in that and signing up for an appointment. All right, another way that we really try to drive research when it comes to Parkinson's is we provide grants for researchers. We try to encourage people through fellowships to actually go into the field of Parkinson's research. And we do that again by offering these types of research grant opportunities and fellowships. That's a long URL, but if you do know of any young people who are trying to sort of figure out maybe a career path when it comes to research, definitely send them our way because we are, again, always, not only are we investing in current researchers, but we're investing in future researchers, which is exciting. All right, and then this is, again, our research centers are really designated medical institutions that are really dedicated to furthering innovative research to advance the understanding and treatment of Parkinson's. So we definitely invest in our research centers and are really proud of the work that they're doing. And it's exciting just to see how far we've come, even in the last few years, and where research is heading in terms of Parkinson's. All right, so obviously another thing that we try to do as an organization is we try to keep people connected. We feel really strongly that, one of the most important things that you can do as somebody with Parkinson's is to connect with others. You guys are obviously doing a great job of that, participating in this support group and being a part of your local Parkinson's community is fantastic. So, definitely keep it up. And then actually this slide, I kind of glossed over that, but one of the ways that we do try to keep people connected is through our research advocacy efforts. So if you're ever interested in volunteering with the foundation, one of the ways that you could actually get involved as a volunteer is to help us raise awareness about the importance of research. So we actually train volunteers on the latest and greatest when it comes to getting involved in clinical trials, and then send you out into the community. And it's a really fun way to be involved and really feel like you're making a difference. All right, another way to get involved, and I mentioned this earlier, is our Moving Day Walk program. I know you guys in Augusta, you guys have an amazing walk. I know the Pop Walk, you guys are doing so many amazing things there locally. But if you do know of any family or friends who are in other communities, outside of yours that don't have access to your event, certainly encourage them to find a moving day. We actually have moving day events all over the country. And it's our signature walk program. And through our moving day events, we've raised over $30 million since its inception. And that was about 10 years ago now, so. All right, so as I mentioned, the Parkinsons Foundation is the nation's largest community for people living with Parkinson's. So in addition to our centers of excellence around the world, we also have local chapters, volunteers, advocates, and staff across the country. I personally have colleagues that help plan educational events in every region across the country, which is exciting. So we really try to, well, during COVID, we did a lot virtually, but once we can start traveling around again, we're certainly going to do so that we can, again, continue getting into some of these communities, especially those communities that really don't have all of the resources that I know that you guys kind of have access to locally. So one of the things that I would love to see, I'd love to see some applications from your region, actually, for our community grants program. So the foundation, one of the many ways that we invest in local communities is through our community grants program. And the goal of that is really to provide local community-based organizations, nonprofits, with funding that they need to start a Parkinson's program, whether it's a Parkinson's wellness program, whether it's an exercise class, whether it's something else locally that could have an impact on people with Parkinson's. We've funded over 436 community-based programs. And it's really exciting. We have every year we meet as our organization comes together, we collect applications, and then we actually have committees of reviewers across the country who look through all the applications to determine what is going to be in the best interest of that community. Where are the needs, where are the gaps, and how can we as a foundation help fill those gaps and meet those needs? So our community grants program is fantastic. I know a lot of community grants have been awarded in Georgia, but again, I'd love to see more applications come in from your area, because I know that it's a great way to get new programs off the ground. If you know of any organizations locally that are interested in starting a Parkinson's program, definitely have them reach out to me. I didn't put the URL on here, but it's easy. You can actually go to parkinson.org/community grants as well. And I can share that link in the chat after I stop sharing my slides as well. All right, and I don't know, I would ask for show of hands, but I can't, but I don't know how many of you guys have seen any of our PD Health at Home programs, but once when COVID happened, I think I did my last in-person educational program in Jasper, Georgia at the very beginning of March. And then right after that, kind of everything started happening, unfortunately, with the pandemic. So we as a foundation switched gears really quickly, and our team, our community engagement team, we, instead of hosting in-person events, we decided, this is an opportunity to keep people engaged, virtually from the comfort of home where they can be safe. And so we launched PD Health at Home, which is a virtual educational program series. We have programs and have now for a year, which is crazy to think about. We have programs every week, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So Mondays, we have Mindfulness Mondays, where my colleague, Krista, who does a wonderful job, she works with mindfulness experts, and they practice meditation, and they practice just activities and things virtually that will sort of help us de-stress. So that's Mindfulness Mondays. And then Wellness Wednesdays, every Wednesday you can tune in to hear from an expert on a particular topic. And I know that everybody might experience some Zoom fatigue at this point, but it's fantastic. If you have not checked out our PD Health at Home series, please do so. You can get more information at parkinson.org/PD Health. And then of course, Friday, we have Fitness Fridays. So actually every Friday we release a new fitness video, and these are anywhere from 20 to 40 minutes in length. And we've been doing everything from boxing to stretching, to aerobic activities. So Fitness Fridays are a lot of fun. And again, it's something that you can do at your leisure. You can do it from home. It's not a live fitness video, so it's something that you and your family members can participate in together. And every Friday, you'll get a new one of those fitness videos. All right, so these are just kind of some of the different ways that people get involved with the foundation. Advocacy efforts, getting involved in one of our events, volunteering with me at an educational program. I know Martha Ann and I are working on a program specific for care partners. So stay tuned for details about that. We're looking at doing something over the, probably later on this summer, early fall. So we'll definitely let you guys know once we get those details finalized, but that's just another example of a way that you could volunteer and get involved with us. Moving Day, of course, is a way to get involved. We actually have a new spinning event. So if any of you guys have ever done a spinning event, we have Parkinson's Revolution, which is kind of a newer signature event for us, where we partner with spin studios kind of around the country. And I know we've done some virtual Parkinson's Revolution events that have been a lot of fun, and we're looking forward to doing some in-person ones as well. If any of you have ever heard of I see our Aware and Care Ambassador is listed here. So hopefully some of you have heard of our Aware and Care initiative, or some people know it as our patient safety kit, our hospital safety kit. And these are really tools and resources that the foundation has created to help keep people safe in the event of a planned or unplanned hospital stay. Inside of our Aware and Care kit is information about Parkinson's, information about your medication, about things that are contraindicated with your medication, all in an effort to keep you safe when you're in the hospital. And so we actually have volunteers around the country called Aware and Care Ambassadors, and they really go out into the communities to educate families, to educate healthcare professionals on the importance of medication timing, and on the importance of really educating a healthcare team to better understand Parkinson's. All right, so we've already kind of talked about some of these things. We try to do as much as we can for communities. We have our helpline, we have our centers of excellence, our moving day walks, PD Generations, a new exciting one. And then, of course, professional education. We do what we can to try to educate therapists and healthcare professionals so that you get the best possible care for Parkinson's. So these are some of the ways that you can reach us, obviously, through our national website, parkinson.org, through our toll-free helpline, 1-800-4PD-INFO. You can also find us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. So lots of different ways to connect with us, LinkedIn. This is information for our Georgia chapter. So I actually, my colleague Amanda and I head up our Georgia chapter. So I focus on programs. So I try to raise awareness about Parkinson's and educate people throughout the community with programs. And then Amanda focuses more on our moving day events and development related activities. But we actually do have a chapter website where you can look up information about local chapter programs and events that are coming up. So you can visit parkinson.org/Georgia. My number is listed on here. So in addition to our helpline, feel free to jot down my number. And if you want to talk to somebody who's based in Georgia, that is what I'm here for. So I'm always happy to help answer questions whenever I can. So we already talked about, the fact that we have, 2 centers of excellence here in Georgia, which is fantastic. One thing that, we've been working on in Metro Atlanta is our PD Gladiators Fitness Network. So again, continuing to try to raise awareness about the importance of exercise for people with Parkinson's. And we've partnered with the YMCA of Metro Atlanta and other fitness organizations like LDBF Boxing for Parkinson's and others to make sure that people here are getting access to Parkinson's specific exercise. I know that you guys have some wonderful resources locally as well. We are doing education programs virtually, but again, we hope to be doing them in different communities in the near future, probably offering more of a hybrid approach to educational programming where we'll bring some people together in person, and then we'll also offer a virtual option for those who can't join us in person or who don't feel comfortable doing so. We, of course, provide free resources. One of the things I didn't talk too much about are all of our publications and all of the resources that actually you can order, and we'll ship them to your home, books, fact sheets, all kinds of things, as well as resources from our website that you can download. And I'll actually, if I have time, I'll hop on our website and show you guys a little bit of that. All right. So this is a quote that I love, and I just wanted to end on this. But the Parkinsons Foundation has been reliable, encouraging, and incredible. They love us like family. I'm thankful and feel that if anyone is struggling with their recent diagnosis or life with Parkinson's, rely on the foundation because you will find a home there. So as somebody who agrees with this quote, I certainly, never wanted my mom to be diagnosed, but I would say engaging with this organization and finding a home here has been a huge blessing for me as well as for my family. So it's definitely something, I don't know why I get choked up, but it's definitely finding a home. I know you guys have a home here with the support group, but just, engage, stay active. Connect with us, if you need resources, need help, guidance, we're here for you. And I am going to stop sharing my slides and then see how much time we have. And maybe we can either show a video or I can hop on the website. So it looks like we've got a little bit of time. So what I'd like to do is show you guys, I just want to show you the complete list of resources that I did not spend enough time on during the course of the presentation. And then I'll kick it over to you guys for a few questions. So let's just see if I can do this. All right, so bear with me and I'm gonna go ahead and pull up a few things that I'd like to show you guys. First of all, this is my mom, Allison. I always love throwing her into a presentation whenever possible because she is such a champ. This is actually her fly fishing in Colorado, which she never fly fished before Parkinson's. And then for whatever reason, getting a diagnosis of Parkinson's made her realize that, this Parkinson's does not define her and it's not going to stop her. And she's going to try new things. And my dad certainly loves to have a fishing buddy. So, all right. So this is, I just wanted to kind of show you some of the additional resources that we offer as an organization. If you guys are ever curious, the fastest way to get to this page is to go to parkinson.org/resources, and you will find a complete list of resources here. So the helpline, I know we talked about, it's wonderful. You can actually call them or email them, and they are very, very quick at responding to questions. The Parkinson's Hospital Kit, as I mentioned again, this is a wonderful resource. You can either order a kit that will be mailed to you, or you can download things like a medication card. You can download, our hospital, basically it's like a hospital planning guide, so that if you know you're going to go in for surgery or have a planned visit, even if you don't have any surgery scheduled, there's nothing wrong with trying to be as prepared as possible in the event of a hospital stay. Because believe it or not, 3 out of 4 people with Parkinson's, and this is according to a study that we did years back, 3 out of 4 people with Parkinson's who are admitted to the hospital do not get their medication on time. So this initiative is really meant to raise awareness of the importance of medication timing and really of just medication safety, making sure that you're not going to get something in the hospital that you shouldn't. So in addition to these resources, we also, as a foundation, we host webinars, expert briefings webinars. These are in addition to all the virtual PD Health at Home programs I already talked to you about. So in terms of virtual events, we have a lot of them, which is great. Podcasts. So if any of you guys, if you spend time in the car, or if your kids, grandkids spend a lot of time in the car, you can encourage them to check out our podcast, because these are easy things to listen to learn more about various Parkinson's topics. PD Conversations is a great online community. It's sort of like our Parkinson's Foundation, Facebook in a way. You can go on there, you can find different topics that you're wondering about. You can ask questions, you can search through and see what other people have posted. And that, tends to be super helpful for people. And we have discussion groups specifically targeting newly diagnosed, symptoms, caregiving, and more. Our educational books. So most of you have probably seen one of these at some point in time. We have educational books that you can actually order. So I know Martha Ann and our team over at MCG, they've got a lot of these types of resources on hand. If they don't have something you're looking for, of course, you can just order these books on our website. You can also call our helpline and tell them, which topics you're most interested in. We have educational books on everything from sleep to cognition to fitness. So lots of different important topics. And the books are not, I wish I had one I could just grab to show you. They're not long. They're really easy to digest. And I know my mom, for example, she'd rather have something she can write in and highlight. So she likes kind of holding the book rather than looking at it online. So that's an option. And then our PD library, you can search for any topic, and you'll either find a book or a video or a webinar or a fact sheet about that particular topic. So it's a really helpful resource. And then YouTube. So let's see if I can share this with you. Our YouTube channel has almost all of our archived webinars, programs. I know this is overwhelming, but nice thing is you can actually, if you go to youtube.com/parkinson.org, you can actually click on videos and then search by topic, and you can find all kinds of webinars about, again, webinars that we've done and that we've recorded. So this is our YouTube channel is another great resource. The list goes on. I could kind of keep talking and talking, but I don't want to do that. I want to give you guys a chance to ask some questions. So hopefully that was helpful. But let me see, Logan, do you want me to look at the chat and I can see
I can actually pull some questions. We had some others that were asked.
Okay.
Let me add myself to Spotlight. So the first one, can family members of PD patients participate in the PD generation study?
That's a great question. It's actually just for people who have received a Parkinson's diagnosis.
Okay.
So,
the next question is, do you have Rocksteady Boxing?
oh, so do we have it here in Metro Atlanta, or do we have it through our Fitness Fridays videos? Do you know?
It wasn't specified, but I have a
Okay.
feeling the second, the latter.
Fitness Fridays. Okay. So we have, I don't currently, I'm actually the one that's putting together all the Fitness Fridays videos, and I don't yet have a Rocksteady Boxing specific video, but I do have a great boxing video that's already been posted through a local boxing organization based here in Sandy Springs. So in addition to that, we also have another group out of Texas. Actually, they're called Power for Parkinson's. They've posted some amazing videos. We actually have some videos by Total Health Works, which if you guys are familiar with Ohio Health's Delay the Disease. So the two lead instructors from that organization actually formed Total Health Works, which is like an online fitness platform for Parkinson's. So they're a great group as well. So we've got a lot of different options already in our Fitness Fridays lineup, but I don't believe we have like a Rocksteady Boxing specific video yet. So I'm sure we will at some point.
So follow-up question about the Fitness Fridays lineup. Do you plan to expand that to other activities? You mentioned your mom fly fishing.
Oh, wow. I mean, I would love to have something like that as part of our Fitness Fridays video series. At this point, the plan is to continue engaging with local community-based fitness programs that are designed for those with Parkinson's. So if you guys know of organizations offering, fitness for Parkinson's, like I know your great group in Augusta, you guys have a boxing program there. So, I mean, I guess it's in South Carolina technically, right?
With our location, we're kind of, we have a foot in both states. Yeah, Day
Okay.
One Fitness though.
Day One, yeah. So I would say if they would, I'd love to have them submit a video for Fitness Friday. So I could certainly reach out to them, or if somebody wants to connect me with them, I'd be happy to talk to them about submitting a video.
Yeah, definitely. We'd be happy to do that. The next question is, how has your virtual engagement gone with PD patients during COVID? For example, level of participation.
It's a great question. I wish I had some facts and figures in front of me because we actually went through this on a call and I was blown away at the number of people that we've been able to engage with. I mean, so many more people were reaching through these virtual events than we were able to reach by doing, some of our in-person events. So it's exciting to think as we move into the fall, our goal is to start hosting some of these hybrid educational events where we're doing in person as well as providing people with that virtual option. So it's just exciting to think that we'll continue hopefully reaching all these people virtually, but then we'll also start getting into some new communities to gather with people again in person. That would certainly be our goal. But it is, we've definitely engaged with a lot of people. And so, I know COVID is I would certainly not wish it on anybody, but I mean, I would say one of the things that I have noticed is that it has allowed us to reach more people simultaneously. Like we did a veterans program virtually in March, and we had over 1,100 veterans with Parkinson's and family members register for that event. And they had access, people across 50 states joined us, and they had access to experts that they may not have had access to had it not been virtual. So, it's, I look forward to seeing everyone in person again, but, we've been trying to certainly make the most of these virtual opportunities to engage with everyone.
That's great. So on the flip side of that question, how have you kind of combated the technology barrier that a lot of our PD patients have had to overcome?
Yeah, that's again, it's another fantastic question. And I, to be honest, don't know that we really have an answer. All I know is, we've done our best to try to provide as many opportunities for people to get information as possible online. I know, for example, I'm working on a program for people in Eastern North Carolina, which is a fairly underserved region in terms of Parkinson's resources. And that is one thing, that we certainly struggle with. It's like, okay, it's one thing to tell people, here is information and here are the great resources. But if somebody doesn't have access to technology to learn about those resources, what is the answer? And I don't know that we've, really, I don't know that we've really solved that issue, other than we've done everything that we could possibly do to engage people via Facebook, via our website, via our helpline, via our programs, via our webinars. And so I think, I know technology will always be a barrier, but one of the things that we've also done is we've actually created a Zoom training section of our website. So that is something that, we've really tried to encourage people to utilize. If you ever want a Zoom training video, you can go to parkinson.org/Zoom and you can watch videos, you can download the instructions. But that's, definitely a way that we try to encourage more participation in these programs. We also mail out postcards whenever we can, so that if somebody's not checking their email, they have an opportunity to grab a postcard, see what a program's about. They can call us, we can walk them through logging into the Zoom meeting. We've even gone so far as to, we've called people from our Zoom programs. If you don't understand how to access this, give us your number and we'll actually have Zoom call your phone directly so that you can engage with us that way. So we've done, I think everything that we could have possibly done to try to reach people, but it's, it certainly was, I think it was a learning curve for everyone. So but I think more and more I see people having a lot of success now with technology. And I think COVID forced that. I don't think a lot of people may not have been as avid with their email or, using the internet. But I think COVID has really kind of pushed people to use technology when maybe they wouldn't have done so otherwise. So.
Yeah, speaking to your point on hybridization, we're kind of discussing that as well. Once we go back to in person, why not stay virtual at the same time to reach those that are underserved or that aren't as mobile, and especially we are finding that, a lot of people would like to participate but can't because of mobility issues. So.
Yeah. And I know the boxing group here in Sandy Springs, they recognized early on, we can't let people just sit at home because we can't have in-person classes. So they started doing these virtual programs right away via Zoom. And I know the feedback has been tremendous. They have people who will say, I'm not ever going back to the gym because it's 30 minutes away, or, because I don't have someone to drive me, I will continue doing these virtual programs. So, not for everybody, but it's certainly a great opportunity to try to keep, some of those folks engaged.
We have a follow-up question on that. Is there any plan to continue the virtual contact after COVID is gone?
Yes. So we will continue. So I think I understand the question. Will we kind of continue on with our virtual platforms? Yes. So we will be doing it all. Our goal, especially my team who's overseeing the PD Health at Home virtual programs, our goal is to continue PD Health at Home. So we have no plans of stopping our virtual programs. But in addition to PD Health at Home, we'll also be, hopefully getting back out into the communities that we serve to offer some in-person opportunities as well.
Great. The next one is kind of a doozy, and I want to expand on it a little bit. How was your initial experience in discovering your mother's diagnosis? And then I think, with my limited experience with PD patients, as an adult child, as we call them in, my field, that's kind of a unique take on it, because I think a lot of people, that's kind of a misrepresented group that really does need a lot of attention.
Yeah, as far as kind of my feelings, so I'm the youngest of four. So I think I've always been the baby of the family. And I think my family's always tried to shield me from I'm always the last person to find out anything that's happening. And
We're similar, so I understand.
yeah. So, but no, I think, I mean, the adult children and really any child, you know, with a parent who has Parkinson's, it is, I think my mom, this was what, I guess 8 years ago now, a little over 8 years. So I, at the time, had no idea. I knew Parkinson's was bad, you know, but I didn't know anything else about it. I just knew I had heard of it. And, you know, Michael J. Fox obviously did a lot to raise awareness of Parkinson's. But I remember the day, yeah, my mom called me. And I think the only reason she called me is because she probably couldn't get a hold of me. She couldn't get a hold of my dad. And she had gone to a neurologist by herself, just thinking she had essential tremor, you know, that it was not going to be anything, not a big deal. It's just kind of an annoying little thing. They'll tell me, you know, just deal with it. And so she goes in thinking nothing of it, and then sitting in her car in the parking garage alone. And I guess I was the first person she could probably get a hold of. So I think I was probably the first person that she told. And I think the hardest part, aside from not knowing what to expect and what was going to happen, was hearing the fear in her voice. You know, as a child, I think even as an adult child, that's the scariest thing to hear, is fear in your parents' voice, especially my mom. She's always been the rock, you know, and she's just so spiritual and just so amazing and wonderful that, you know, I know she's been afraid of things in the past, but I think she always tried to shield us from that. So hearing the fear, I think, was the hardest part. We all went through a grieving period, you know, all of us as a family. And I would pull up a picture, but it might take me a minute. But moving day Atlanta was actually the first event that we participated in as a family. And it was the first good day that we had with Parkinson's, you know, after my mom's diagnosis, because it was just fun. And it was like, finally, you know, this doesn't all have to be bad, you know? So it was hard. I know our organization has tried to do, you know, as much as we can to reach those adult children and to try to help them cope and to try to help them feel empowered. I think that's the hardest thing, is when you feel helpless. Yeah. Feel like there's nothing you can do to fix this. There's nothing you can do to help her. So that's as soon as I got involved with Moving Day, as soon as I got involved with the foundation, I felt like I just felt that sense of purpose. And that helped me, I think, more than anything, you know, sort of overcome my anxieties and my fears. And even now, hearing, you know, knowing so much about Parkinson's, I think it's actually, I'm less afraid, because I see there's this vast spectrum of people. No two people are the same, you know, and these symptoms aren't going to affect every single person in the same way. So her journey is her journey. And I think I take some comfort in that. That makes sense. So I don't know if that answered the question or not, but
I think it did. So I personally have a follow-up question. So, you know, I haven't experienced Parkinson's in my family, but I experienced dementia diagnosis with my grandmother. And I know that family members don't always get on the same page at the same time. I know my mother and her brother had issues getting on the same page with my grandmother's diagnosis. Did you find that in your family? And if so, how did you kind of cope with that? How did you bring everybody onto the same page and in the same book?
Yeah, that's a good question. You know, I don't know. I don't know. I think with my family, I think, you know, we've all sort of done different, we've all handled this in our own different ways. I don't think we ever sat down as a family and kind of talked about it. Or, you know, I would say honestly, like getting involved in that Moving Day walk was probably the closest thing we had to sort of coming together and getting on the same page. You know, we were on the same page of, we're going to support my mom and we're going to be there for her and do whatever we need to do as a family to support her. She's always been there for us. So now it's our turn to do something for her. So I think that you know, without having to say it, I think that's kind of how we all felt. You know, I know my siblings, they're also a lot, like I have 2 siblings that are a lot older than me. And so I think if they were ever wondering about something, I don't know that they would come to me. You know, they'd probably try to do their own research and kind of ask questions of others who have kind of been through all of this before. But But yeah, I don't know. That's a really good question. You know, I think it is helpful when families can come together and can try to get on the same page as far as what are we going to do to best support the person with Parkinson's? What is my role? What is your role? You know, how are we going to help them with their appointments? How are we going to help them with encouraging exercise? How are we going to help get them the information? Not that they don't need to know, but sort of on an need to know basis, you know. And I feel like I've tried to do that a little bit with my mom, but she's so smart. I mean, she knows more about all of this than I ever could or would, you know, even working for the foundation. But I don't know. I don't think I answered your question, but I think it is important for families to come together to just try to figure out what can we do collectively and what can we do independently to best support this person. Because I do think personalities, we all play a different role in the family dynamic, you know? And so I think we all have an important role to play. It's just figuring out what that role is and how can I have the greatest impact on my mom.
That's great. Thank you. I don't think we have any other questions that I see. I'm sorry if I missed anyone's questions. Please, you know, we would love to forward them along to Annie. I know you mentioned earlier, but you know, I wanted to thank you so much for joining us today. And if somebody would like to contact you again at the Parkinson's Foundation, how can they do so?
Absolutely. I can, well, Logan, I know you have my information. You're welcome to share that with the group. But my direct email, somebody wanted to reach out to me. The easiest one is georgia@parkinson.org. And then my cell phone, which, yeah, I don't think it matters. I know we're on Facebook Live, but it's 770-450-0792. And that is my office number. And Logan, you're welcome to share that. It's, you know, it's our Georgia chapter office number. So anybody can call that number, talk to me, talk to, you know, if you have a development or fundraising related question, I would, you know, send you on to my colleague, Amanda. And then if it's a Parkinson specific question, which I get a lot of them, but I am by no means a medical expert or qualified to give medical advice or comments, you know, on Parkinson specific things. What I can do is, you know, refer those questions, you know, send them along to our helpline team, and they will be able to get you the answers you're looking for. So.
That's perfect. Well, and I'll definitely add that email and phone number into the comment section for those of us joining on Facebook Live. Thank you again, Annie, and thank you all for joining us today. I wish you a wonderful remainder of your week and look forward to seeing you all next month. Seriously, Annie, thank you for sharing your personal experiences, the Parkinson's Foundation's experience, everything. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, well, thank you guys for having me again. This was a lot of fun. And you know, again, hopefully I will be in the area at some point in the near future and we'll be able to see some of you guys face to face. That would be great. So, and thank you, Logan, for what you do and getting this pulled together. And thanks to all of you. Kathleen, it was great to see you and I still get to see your face. So, so keep doing what you guys are doing. Stay connected, stay engaged, reach out to us if you have questions or need resources or support. And I look forward to maybe joining another meeting in the near future. So thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you, Annie.